Hey guys, it's Marvel Animations here with another figure review, however this time with the Hasbro Marvel Legends Iron Man Neoclassic figurine. Now, I would like to say this is a great figure, however there are a few things I do want to point out for collectors out there. There's good and there's bad, however there's a little bit more bad than there is good. I got this off eBay a while ago. I think it was about 4 days ago. It was delivered to me. Sadly, I was unable to open it, and then I opened it, and then I did a self-review with myself, and now I'm doing it in front of a camera. Now, it's a good figure. As I said, there are some bad points. This figurine, however, just like to point out now, is in the same series as the Punisher figure I did before. And the Punisher figure I did before was quite good. However, there was some bad points with him as well. Now, this is the Iron Man Neoclassic, and it looks amazing, but there are disadvantages and advantages towards this figure. Before I start the disadvantages and advantages with the figure, I am going to start off with the box. And the box is nice, you've got the letters Iron Man there, the word Iron Man there, then you got Iron Man at the top, it says Epic Heroes, just there. You got the Marvel Legends Hasbro sign there, telling you it's Hasbro, and then you got this, the background, which I like. I like this more than the new Marvel Legend figures. I've seen them; they're quite good, but there are complaints about them. And this is the back of the box. You do see Tony's suit in the background. If I could just point it out just here. My bad, zoomed in too much. Just at the top you see his figurine, his suit. Then there's another suit here, another suit here, and another suit here. Then you've got the lineup of figurines in the series. In the series you've got US Agent, Punisher, it says Marvel Knights. He was from Marvel Knights, but he isn't Marvel Knights. Then you got Iron Man, then you got Doctor Doom, then you got Deadpool. It says it says X-Mutants, but that's Mystique in my opinion. It looks like Mystique, and it is Mystique in my opinion. So yeah, that's the box itself, which is quite nice. I always keep the boxes just for display, just in case as I said before, anything goes wrong with the collection and all that, and I have to do the last resort. Anyway, this is the box, quite nice. Now, before I start the disadvantages and advantages with this figure, I'd just like to show you, the front, quite nice, and the back, which is quite nice. Also, the fact that it does not come with any, build-a-figure parts, but it comes with this. It's like a display stand, and if you're a collector and you want to put him on display, if you want, Iron Man on display, this does not work. Trust me, I tried to put it on the foot, and I've forced it a few times. It doesn't work, so don't. I wouldn't try it if I was any of you. It also came with the Punisher figure, but I didn't include it in the video because I just lost it. But I managed to find it today. But yeah, I also managed to find this one. Now at the top, starting with the articulation, we have the head, which is quite nice. You got left to right. You can't necessarily move his head up or necessarily down without, moving his ab crunch here, which I like ab crunches. But yeah, you can't move his head too far up without putting it, on the point here, which is not so good. And you can't do the same, without moving the ab crunch, put it down, because it's just stuck on that little pivot. But it does go all the way around. But that would look weird if you're doing that in the stop motion, unless there's something wrong with him, of course. Next, we have the arms. As you can see, it moves forwards, moves up. However, you see this little flap bit. You can remove it, and then you could do all the same articulations. The one thing I don't like is how that color, this yellowish color, is different to this, gold-looking color. Also, you got this on the articulation, and you got the hand articulation. You got this wrist sort of articulation, which moves the hand as well, by the way. And then you got a double jointed arm, but because of this, you can't do the double joint as well as you could with any other figure. But one thing I do want to point out with this on, that you cannot, pretty much do this, where you put his arm all the way up, let me just show you. You can't put it all the way up. Yeah, that one just fell off. But, you know, they don't fall off. It just unclipped itself. You know, you can't just put it all the way up. It's really hard. It keeps unclipping itself. Mine was not broken or anything. It just unclips a little bit. You know, alright. So, yeah, you can't really go up with his arm. You can only, you know, go left or right without having to remove this. And this is with both arms, which is quite annoying. Next up, we have the ab crunch. I love ab crunches. Sadly, the Punisher figure didn't come with an ab crunch. My previous wrestling figures had ab crunches besides, you know, the massive people, you know, the overweight people like Brodus Clay didn't have it. And Yokozuna, I think that's how you pronounce it. I can't remember how you pronounce his name, but, you know, he also has the ab crunch thing. Or not ab crunching, but what Punisher had, which was the, you know, the middle swivel bit. Anyway, but ab crunch is nice. Also, with this figure, you have a waist. With the previous figure, you didn't have a waist, and it turns all the way around, you know, just in case you're wondering. If Punisher had a waist one, that would be good as well, but sadly, he didn't. Moving down, we have the leg articulation. It goes, you know, out like this, which is alright, I'd say. You know, you can move it all the way out. But then, you know, when you want to move it forwards, as I pointed out in my last video, you've got to move this all the way forwards, put it down, and then put it up. Whereas with the Toy Biz ones, you don't have to do any of that stuff, so I prefer Toy Biz. However, if you do put his arms or his legs out by side and then do that, it does stand up straight. Whereas if you do it the other way around, you got this massive gap between his legs. And then, yep, you have a double, you know, double knee joint, which is pretty good. And then, of course, you have, you know, you have this swivels, which is alright. However, one thing that Shymus Prime did hate is probably the ankle, you know, swivel. It doesn't have that ankle joint, you know, pivot, ankle pivot, I believe he calls it. I call it, you know, just the ankle. It doesn't have any articulation in it. However, it does kind of say that it does there. You can see, like, you know, you see that little chip, that little chip sort of, you know, sort of imitates that there is one, but really there isn't, and you can't really force it, and there's no articulation. But, you know, that's just one thing I'd like to point out, just in case you were wondering that. Overall, this figure would be quite hard to do a stop motion on, mainly because, well, his arms aren't loose, but, you know, the arms don't go all the way up without this, and when you take it away, both of them, you know, it looks kind of weird. You know, that it looks like the classic Iron Man, but it also looks weird because then you have these, and if you remove these away, well, then you've just got the, you know, the top bit of the elbow and the hand left, which isn't the best. And also this really, I would have preferred, you know, a Build-A-Figure part, but, you know, they have to include these. They did that with the Avengers lineup as well, which was a pain. I haven't done the Avengers lineup, but I will, hopefully, if I can find some available on eBay or Amazon. I use both .co.uk and .com, because I don't mind overseas shipping. Also, I'm looking into getting the Kyoto Revotech figures and the Max Factory Figma and the Medicom Mayfix, which are all really good, apparently. And they all make Marvel characters, which is good, and I believe one of them makes an Indiana Jones figure, which is really good, because I love Indiana Jones. Anyway, thank you to Banter Boss Gaming, otherwise known as BXS Animations. Thanks to him for recommending me to get an Iron Man figure. I got this one only because it was in the same lineup. However, now that I look at it, it doesn't look too bad doing an animation of an Iron Man looking like this. You know, it's not the worst. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. But I have my tips on animating, but I just don't have enough time to animate. But when I do, I will animate, and I'm currently making my own diorama right now. It's not finished, you know. I will show you it in another video. But overall, this figure is really good, and I recommend you get it because I swear it's great, but it's mainly good for display. But animating is good, and if you're just gonna play with it, well, you may as well get it anyway because it's Iron Man. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Marvel Animations. Also, yeah, I forgot to point out the figure scale. You know, that's a Punisher figure. It's quite small, and then compared to the Wolverine Toy Biz, he's quite big. Thank you guys for watching this. This is Marvel Animations. Please subscribe to BXS or Banter Boss Gaming. He will comment below down in this video because, you know, he recommended me to get a figure, and I'm pretty sure he's going to enjoy this video. So yeah, he will comment below. You know, just click on his channel, subscribe to him, because I've seen his animations. They do need a little bit of, you know, tweaking, but not too much, and they're really good though. I like the steampunk versus the Undertaker, that sort of thing, because, you know, I used to be a wrestling fan. Anyway, I can give him loads of ideas. Anyway, this is Marvel Animations. Hope you guys like this, and yeah, subscribe, and if you like this video, like it. And I only say subscribe so you can keep updated with my videos. Anyway, thanks for watching, and this is Marvel Animations.